Give it up big time for Tom Burkhardt.
Never tell me the odds. That sounds like something a badass superhero would say right after somebody tells them that there is absolutely no chance that they're going to be able to save the world. Now, I'm not implying that I'm a badass. You can draw that conclusion on your own. But what I will say is that phrase has been a key part of my life. It has come up in moments when I was overcoming adversity and I was knocked down, couldn't get back up off the ground. And it's come at moments of really fun times too, like big wins, like when I won a karaoke contest or a dance contest, and I can't do either, and I didn't have any business being in those contests. If you ever find yourself in that situation, I'll give you the hack. It's lots of gyration and charm. That's sort of the key. I've also won 5 game shows. I've been on 7. And probably most glaringly, the longest of shots was somehow getting my wife, Sandra Burkhardt, to marry me when she's way out of my league. She's here tonight. You'll see it for yourself if you talk to her. It could have been the gyration again, now that I think about it. Now, defying the odds isn't something that I think makes me more deserving or luckier or more blessed. In fact, I hate the phrase favor ain't fair because I think it implies that God has favorites, and I don't think he does. But what it does do, it does roll into my faith. And it's because I believe that what God has meant for me is meant for me and nobody else, and that the numbers and the probability don't matter if that's the case. And it just gives me the confidence, I think, sometimes to step into moments that maybe I shouldn't feel comfortable in because I believe, why not me, instead of it's never going to happen. 5 years ago, when I was just a baby and could still wear that baby t-shirt, I was working in marketing and I had an event at a grand opening of a Sprouts in Riverside. I wasn't feeling that great, and it wasn't just because I was going to Riverside. Inland Empire in the house. But when I got there, I started feeling sick. I had heartburn, upset stomach, indigestion, pretty much 3 out of the 4 big 5 from the Pepto-Bismol commercials. And I immediately had to run to the restroom and start throwing up. And because nobody wants to be spewing at Sprouts, I decided that I should probably go home. And I grabbed a pack of like herbal remedy from Sprouts because they don't have the good stuff. And it said it was guaranteed to work or you get your money back. And I decided to leave. But when I got to my car, apparently everybody was desperately trying to get out of Riverside, which I get. And traffic was terrible. My 60-mile drive was going to take 2.5 hours to get home. And I started to get sicker along the way. I picked up a few more symptoms. I was now sweating profusely. My breath was getting harder. It was a little bit more difficult to breathe. And I thought maybe I should go to urgent care instead of just home to sleep it off. So I called Sandra, and she said that she would meet me there. And as I drove, I just get more nervous. I'd pass hospital exit after hospital exit, and I would think, maybe I should stop there. But I didn't, because I'm an idiot. And as I was 5 minutes away from home, traffic completely stopped. I panicked, and I felt like I was going to pass out. And for a minute, I actually thought of just abandoning my car and walking to urgent care. I thought better of that and turned on the radio as a distraction. And I turned it on just in time to hear the drive time disc jockeys, Stryker and Klein, say, "Call now! Caller 20 wins tickets to the Smashing Pumpkins." And Smashing Pumpkins is literally my favorite band. I, too, like a rat in a cage full of rage. So I obviously had to call in, even in my current state. So I dialed the number. First ring, just a ring. Second ring, hey, this is K-Rock, who's this? I was like, did I win? They're like, what's your name? I said, my name's Tom. Whether I won or didn't win, my name is still Tom. And they said, congratulations, you're going to see the Smashing Pumpkins. And I was so freaking jazzed. I forgot for a moment, and maybe it was the adrenaline, that I was so sick. And I said, guys, this is so funny. I was actually on my way to urgent care because I had all these terrible medical issues that were happening. That is comedic gold. So, hello, God. So they said, they started teasing me, and Klein, who's basically a Disney Plus version of a shock jock, started teasing me. And he was like, you know, if you die, we're gonna have to give the tickets to somebody else, which makes sense. And I said, well, if I die, I'm sure my wife is gonna be able to find somebody better to me to go with anyway. They started calling me Dead Tom, which was premature, as you can tell. But Stryker, who was like a principal man, he was like, do you need an ambulance? Can I call you an ambulance? Is there anything that you need? And I said, no, I'm fine. I promise I'm gonna be able to get to the hospital, the urgent care, and when I get there, I'll even call and tell you that I'm fine. So, as soon as that happened, well, it seemed like traffic opened up immediately. The waters parted, and I was able to get to urgent care, who had no idea what to do with me when I got there. They stuck me in an exam room. I think they basically forgot about me. My symptoms started to get worse again, and I could hardly breathe at that point. I actually called Sandra, and I said, could you please call the front desk and tell them I'm dying in the exam room? Luckily, she was walking into the room at that very moment, grabbed a doctor, pulled him back into the room, and he looked at me and was like, oh shit, we should have sent him on earlier. This was a mistake. So they told me to go straight to the emergency room. When we got there, they took us immediately back. They put an EKG machine on me. The second it was over, the doctor screams, code blue. He hits some kind of alarm. People started rushing into the room. I got stuck with an IV. People were throwing paperwork in front of me. They were giving me pills. They were tearing my clothes off, which wasn't that bad. But then the doctor gave me the news that a lot of you who've been reading ahead probably know. He said, you're having a heart attack. And I don't know why this was my response to hearing that news. I should have been scared, I guess. But the first thing I said was I looked at Sandra and I was completely full of sarcasm, said, of course I'm having a heart attack. Like, I don't even know why I said that. It was like my luck had suddenly run out and I was just pissed off about it. And the doctor said, you know, we're gonna have to do some things. We're gonna take a tube and we're gonna stick it in the artery in your groin, and we're gonna go up into your heart and we're gonna knock out a blockage that's basically having you die right now. And that was terrible news, obviously, but it was comforting to know that the guy that was shaving my crotch had a purpose. When he was doing it, I was like, this is so weird. And then I was like, oh, now it makes sense. And so I was telling Sandra, I was like, babe, we're gonna be fine. I promise you, we're gonna get through this. It's no big deal. In my head, it was 50-50. Like, I knew that there was a good chance that the next time I closed my eyes and opened them, I could be looking at Jesus. But, you know, people have that idea in your mind of like, oh, I'm gonna see Jesus and he's gonna say, well done, my good and faithful servant. And I prayed, but my prayer was a threat. I said, God, I promise you, you do not want to see me today. Like, if I'm there, I'm gonna say some words that might not be allowed up there. so you might as well send me back. In retrospect, it's not a good idea to threaten God. But it was my Lieutenant Dan moment, and I was feeling myself. So I closed my eyes and just hoped for the best. Well, the surgery went amazing. That was sarcasm. It was supposed to take 15 minutes, but it actually took 3 hours. And Sandra had gotten no updates at all. They were able to get the block out of my heart. The issue was they had a little oopsie with the tubey thing and went right through my artery in my groin, which is bad. Which is worse is that they only gave me enough anesthesia for the 15-minute procedure. So I opened my eyes, laying on the operating table, covered in my own blood, to which the first thing I said to the doctors was, "Who got murdered in this bed while I was asleep?" I promise you I said that. And, it was bad, but there was a part of me that was just so happy to be alive and to be feeling anything at all. Like, that is such a relief. Like, you can endure a little bit of anything, even excruciating crotch pain. So keep that in mind if that ever happens. Obviously the next night was, that night was a long night, a lot of stuff to process. But the next day, I kept my word and I called Stryker and Klein to tell them that I was alive. They put me back live on the air from my hospital bed and told me that when I went out, they just got flooded with hundreds of people calling to see if Dead Tom made it or not. It had made national news. Big bands had called to check on me. It was pretty sweet. The guys gave me some more concert tickets to another show, so it was totally worth the whole thing. And I promised them that I would be well enough in a month to go to the concert. Well, the day the concert came, they called me to check on me, and they wanted to make sure that I was still okay. And then they put frickin' Billy Corgan on the line to talk to me. Yeah. For those of you who are not almost 50, he's the lead singer of the band. He looks like the guy from Powder, who you probably also don't know. But there's a lot to learn, a lot of lessons. You can't unsee your own death. So there's some takeaways from beating the odds. And one of them to me was, if I can say, "Why not me?" when I'm expecting good things to happen, then I should kind of also expect that "why not me" is applicable to the bad things. And when that happens, maybe I should say, "Why me?" And not in a victimized way, but in a way that helps me find purpose, helps me find a lesson that I can learn. Like, maybe tonight I'm here just to encourage you all to take medical issues seriously. Or maybe I want to tell you that if you're having a heart attack, don't buy herbal supplements to try to stop it. That shit doesn't work. I took it back and got my money back. Thank you very much. Next time.